on the show last night, I played an ABC journalist caught in a hot mic incident. Well, there were a couple of other journalists as well, but he was really unloading on his own organisation. He was talking about why Probyn was really sacked. It was a management disagreement. He admitted that he hadn't looked at the lab leak as seriously, called me some not very kind things. Let's have a quick listen to it in case you've missed it.
I feel like I remember being super dismissive of that very early, not even very early on, for a good while. I was like, that is just the most unhinged thing ever. And I reckon I was overly influenced by the fact that there were some truly nasty and crazy people who were already deep down the rabbit hole. I probably didn't look at it dispassionately enough.
So, look, if it was a hidden mic, you could totally understand, but they had these big mics in front of them. They were sitting in the front row of the press conference. Paul, you know, they said not very kind things about me and also Patricia Karvelis. These are, you know, blokes that are from the press gallery. You know, what happened to the Me Too movement hitting Canberra?
Well, my issue about all of this is it's all very true about how obviously dismissive of high-profile women this conversation is. But as I went to in annoyingly long lengths last night, you can go back and watch the highlights if you want.
And thank you your words were beautiful, as I messaged you.
One of the things that frustrates me the most about being a person in the media and somebody who has always wanted to work in the media, right? This is the dream industry for me, okay? I don't pretend to be otherwise. Is that this is how the media polices itself, which is journalists, and the same conversations happen around football teams and around business and any sort of access media. They all basically sort of talk amongst themselves to double check that everyone's on the same page. It's why often when you turn on the 6 p.m. news, it's exactly the same story that are there with exactly the same intros.
Pack mentality.
Correct. But my thing is that those who purport to be people with an open mind or the bigger thinkers should be able to go to sources from people that they disagree with and go, well, there's got to be a kernel in this somewhere. How do I improve my knowledge base? But instead, they turn around and say, well, I don't like the source, so therefore I dismiss the information. And there's plenty of sources I don't like. I do not enjoy reading The Guardian every day, but I do to see, well, what's their take? Because there'll be a kernel of information in there that actually helps inform your view. As for the hot mic of things, I've been caught. It's what happens when you're in the business. That's the way it is. You can't sook about it. And I know some of them are sooking right now. But the truth is...
Sooking but not apologising, by the way.
Yeah, still waiting for that apology for you, Sharri.
Of course, but Liz, you know, this is it's the groupthink thing. That's what I think it becomes a greater illustration of.
Exactly.
And these conversations happen in the lockup for the budget, on the road when you're covering an election, after a press conference or before a press conference, and it's an example of, again, I don't like the source, so I don't care about the information, and that is really bad news for people whose job it is to be across all the information.
Yeah, I agree, Liz. I mean, it shows us how stories are spoken about. It exposes the very pack mentality and ideology that we've long suspected that ABC had.
Exactly. And then it no longer becomes about dismantling whatever argument or theory you're putting up. It comes about to be more about, rather, taking you down. It's like, well, I didn't like the person, and so I didn't even engage with the ideas or the argument. You know what I mean? So it just, again, goes to show that small-mindedness, nobody's actually engaging with the argument, the theory, the facts and figures. I mean, you had a whole book full of them. No engagement with that, didn't like who was behind it, and therefore we, as a pack, as the ABC, no, not going to.
Can I introduce a small level of nuance which always gets me?
We've got 30 seconds left.
Which is very simple.
Yes.
Not everyone in the press gallery is like that, just most of them.
Now, Paul Murray, you've got Peter Dutton on your show tonight, 9 o'clock, so we're not going to miss that. Liz Storer, we'll see you at 10 o'clock.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Sharri.
All right, and can't wait to watch your interview with Dutton.
It'll be good.